Hey y'all, today we're going to be making homemade pizza. We are going to start off with making some homemade mozzarella from raw milk. Next, you're going to heat your milk to 100 degrees. Then you're going to add citric acid and animal rennet. Then you're going to remove your milk from heat and let it sit for about 10 minutes for them curds to form. In a minute, you're going to see me strain the whey off my curds, and I will let you know that today was a really bad day for my mozzarella, and I'm going to make a video later about how I messed up, and we're going to go over how you can still use it even if you do mess it up. Now we're going to make our homemade pizza dough. I doubled my batch so that I could make some breadsticks. So you're going to add 2 cups of water. We did 3 teaspoons of yeast, bread yeast, and then I did 2 teaspoons of sugar. And after you get all that in there, you're gonna let your mixture sit for about 10 minutes until the yeast becomes bubbly. After that, you're gonna add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And as you can see, I already have my mixer on, so we're gonna go ahead and just turn the mixer on. The double recipe called for 2 teaspoons of salt, but I just eyeballed it, as you can see. Finally, you're going to add 5 cups of bread flour. Then you're just gonna mix that all up until the dough becomes smooth. I think I mixed mine for about 10 minutes before I shut it off. I also added parsley and garlic to my dough. Before I shaped out my dough, I went ahead and shredded up my mozzarella cheese. As you can see, even though I did mess up my mozzarella and it didn't look pretty, it shredded beautifully. So even if you mess up, just keep going, and if you're shredding it, it's gonna be okay. Now I'm going to shape out my pizza dough. So I just rolled it out onto the counter and I divided it in half since I doubled the recipe. I am using half for breadsticks and the other half is going to be my pizza dough. So I just have a little bread cutter, roll it out to where you can tell which part is going to be bigger or not, because you want to get it pretty even. So I just divided it in half, set my part that was going to be the pizza dough to the side, and I began separating out my breadsticks. So for the recipe for breadsticks, you take one half of that doubled recipe and you're going to cut it out into 8 different pieces and then roll out your breadsticks. Now that I'm finished with the breadsticks, I'm gonna move on to the pizza dough. This is a little difficult. You have to spread it out really well because it likes to shrink back up. I like to use my countertop as a kind of helper. I spread out my dough and then push it over the edge of my pizza stone, and it kind of sticks to the countertop, and it helps it to hold its shape for a little bit until you can get it rolled up on the edges so you can form the crust. Now that my pizza dough is nice and flat, I'm going to start rolling up the edges to form my crust. If you like a bigger crust, you're going to want to get more overlay on the outside of your pan. I don't really care how big the crust is since I make breadsticks. We have extra bread. Once you got everything perfect, you're going to put your pie dough and your breadsticks in the oven at 450 and bake till they are golden brown. Now you're going to pull everything out of the oven and it's time to add the toppings to your pizza. We do a tomato sauce base, and then I add a little bit of cheese. Then I do my pepperoni, and then I add the rest of my cheese and top it off with some oregano. It's up to you what type of toppings that you want to add. We just do a basic pizza. After you have all your toppings added, you're just gonna pop it back in the oven until the cheese is all melted, and then you're done. You're ready to enjoy your pizza. I hope y'all love this recipe.